Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Hogwarts Legacy. We're going to continue where we left off, but first I feel like I have some things that I need to do.
Deke hasn't seen this many plants here before.
So last time I went ahead and put all my plants here, and I think, let me see here. I think there's a couple of things, because there's this mission, right? This quest that I have to try to, like, complete. I think it's like the combat things, and I can't really do that. So I decided to plant everything that I could while saving money at the same time. Let me see here. Let me take a look. Yes, so I have to acquire all three combat plants and use them simultaneously. So we have the Chinese chomping cabbages, a mandrake, and the venomous tencula. And I've already grown and harvested the fluxweed plant. So I have the mandrake and the cabbage, but I don't have the tencula, I don't think. No, I have to wait like 2 more minutes for that, which is fine, no big deal. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back for that, and as you can see, I kind of upgraded my defense and my offense and definitely my health. But Natty is waiting for me. I think we're gonna do that one. Or should I do Shadow? We're gonna do the Shadow of the Bloodline. Let's do that one instead. Everything else is gonna take a little time. Cause I have to return. Yeah, it's gonna take a little time. So we're gonna do in the Shadow of the Bloodline, speak to Sebastian. So let's see where he's at. Ooh, perfect. Great Hall. Okay, we're gonna do that. Alright, this is the Great Hall, and I haven't been here in a while. Or during the day, I should say. Oh, he's over here. Perfect.
Anything to do with the dark art should be avoided. It's too risky.
Anything to do with Salazar Slytherin is worth the risk.
I can't agree. And I'll not say a word more. I'm sorry.
I won't give up.
What were you and Ominous speaking about?
He's being ridiculous. Apparently Salazar Slytherin had a secret scriptorium here in Hogwarts. Ominous swears it was used for the dark arts, so he wants nothing to do with it. I reminded him that Anne needs a cure. This scriptorium could hold the answers we need.
Okay. I'm curious about the dark arts, and the dark arts are dangerous. Shoot. Okay, let's say we're curious.
The dark arts do pique my interest.
There's more to dark magic than people realize. The Gaunts know this. Better than most. Perhaps I've spoken out of turn. Ominous's family history is personal to him.
I understand. You needn't tell me if you don't want to.
If I were you, I'd be begging for more details.
It's not that I'm not interested, and you can certainly trust me if you want to tell me anything.
Ominous learned dark magic from his parents. Are you familiar with the Cruciatus curse?
Oh boy. Yes.
Crucio, correct? The Cruciatus curse, also known as the torture curse, inflicts excruciating pain on the victim.
Apparently, his parents and older siblings had no qualms about casting it on muggles for sport. Ominous described the sound of the victim's cries as horrific, so the first time he was asked to cast it himself as a child, he couldn't bring himself to do it. As punishment, his family cast it on him. The anguish was so bad that when asked to cast it again, he relented. I have repeatedly assured Ominous that he did what he had to, but he still hasn't forgiven himself.
How horrible. Poor Ominous, he was only a child. He shouldn't blame himself.
After that incident, the rift between Ominous and his family only grew. That is until I came along. Every moment he isn't at Hogwarts, he's with us in Feldcroft. Ominous trusts me. And more often than not, he winds up listening to me. I'll remind him of that when I follow up about the scriptorium. Watch for my owl. I'll have news soon enough. I'll make Ominous understand. He'll change his mind.
Okay, so does that mean I have to wait? Yes, I do have to wait. Okay, I wonder, I can only collect the moons at night. Okay, we're gonna do that later. Let's talk to Sirona Ryan in the Three Broomsticks. Yeah, let's go do that. Okay, is that, why is there, oh, there's two people, but I think this is Sirona. Yes, that's Sirona, but who's this? Clementine. We'll wait then, we'll do Sirona.
Hello, Sirona. I received your owl. How are you?
Hello, my friend. Did you ever find Lodgok?
I did, thank you. We had a good conversation. He sends you his best.
Glad to hear it. I shan't ask for details of your little chat, and I'll refrain from telling you to be careful yet again. But I hope you will be, whatever your plans.
Of course. Your owl mentioned you're needing my help with something.
I do. I thought you might be just the person to do a favour for my friend Dorothy Sprottle in Upper Hogsfield.
I don't believe I've met Mrs. Sprottle.
She's lovely. Her late husband Aidan was a friend of my father's. In fact, I'd stay with Dot and Aidan the summers I waited tables here as a student. I've seen her a few times since Aidan passed, but the pub's been so busy lately, I've not been as attentive as I'd have liked. I wonder if you might pop in and see her. She may need some help collecting ingredients for her supply of Wiggenweld potion. And you could retrieve something of mine in the process. A box, full of old letters and such.
Why did Mr. and Mrs. Sprottle have your box of letters after all this time?
It's one of a few that I had when I was young. Dot found it when she was clearing out a closet. Can't imagine what's in there. Probably terribly theatrical. The ramblings of a teenage witch and her friends. You're welcome to take a peek inside, if you do find it. To be honest, I'd imagine it contains some lovely memories.
Why does Mrs. Sprottle keep a supply of Wiggenweld potion on hand?
Dot's a skilled potioneer. She's been supplying travelling vendors with Wiggenweld potion. An ordinary precaution that has, unfortunately, become a necessity What with Ranrock's loyalists disrupting the trade routes.
I'll try to go and see her when I can.
It would mean the world to me, and to Dorothy. Aiden was bringing the box of letters to me when he was taken ill. Dot can tell you where he might have dropped it. You'll find the hamlet just north of Hogsmeade. Please do give Dot my love.
Okay. We should go see this Dorothy or Dot. It's not far. I'm wondering. Oh, actually, it is kind of far. Wow, is it all the way over here? No, that's Natty. Oh no, I don't have. Oh, bummer. Okay, that's fine. I don't think I have anything close by here.
Not one of those privileged. Trantors have never had much use for blood.
Alright, so I still can't fly, which is a bummer. I thought I should be able to over here, but I guess not. I mean, it's fine if I walk over there. It's not like I'm gonna, you know. Ugh. Okay, perfect. Here it is.
Haven't a clue why there's such a fuss over poaching. There's enough beast flesh for everyone.
Okay.
Upper Hogsfield. Now, where to find Mrs. Sprottle?
Welcome to Upper Hogsfield. Charming hamlet. Tell the residents of Lower Hogsfield I said that.
Okay. So there's, I think that's her.
Shane Bardolph thought dark magic was the answer. I reckon Rookwood's played a hand in his disappearance.
Excuse me, did you say something about a Bardolph Beaumont?
I did. I don't think we've met. I'm Dorothy Sprottle. I was just worrying about Claire Beaumont's brother Bardolph, only he's gone missing. Rumour is he was seen in the forest practicing dark magic. Saw him myself near some ruins with Rookwood's lot I did. I fear he got himself into trouble with the Ashwinders, especially if he made them a promise he couldn't keep. I'd help search for him myself, but no one will risk encountering Ranrock's loyalists. They seem to be everywhere.
Do you think Bardolph may have simply run off?
No. Bardolph's run that shop with Claire his entire life. He'd not give it up for anything. He swore he'd be back in a fortnight. My instincts are that he's been held captive, or worse.
Why would Bardolph want to get involved with the Ashwinders?
Oh, he had a terrible run-in with Ranrock's loyalists. Changed him. He vowed never to feel powerless again. I think he sought the Ashwinders out to learn their secrets. Victor Rookwood, at least, seems somehow immune to Ranrock's loyalists.
I can certainly look out for him.
Any help would be appreciated. You might speak to Claire first. Perhaps she has some insights that I don't. I can tell you that Bardolph was last seen in the forest wearing a particular woolen jumper, one that Claire knitted herself. Claire will be at her shop if you'd like to speak with her.
Hello, Mrs. Sprottle. Actually, Sirona Ryan asked if I'd come and see you.
Oh, dear Sirona, a gem. Has been for as long as I've known her.
She thought you might need help collecting ingredients for your Wiggenweld potion.
And she's correct. My darling Aidan used to collect Horklumps for me. Since he died, my supply has dwindled.
I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Sprottle.
Oh, thank you. Love of my life. A bit lost without him. If you wouldn't mind gathering some Horklumps for me, I'd be happy to compensate you for your time.
Believe it or not, I have some with me.
Oh, thank you. How wonderful. The travelling vendors will be thrilled to replenish their stock of Wiggenweld potion.
Sirona also mentioned that Mr. Sprottle was bringing her a box of letters when he fell ill.
Indeed he was. I'd almost forgotten. I stumbled upon it just before Aidan died. He was hoping to go through it with Sirona over a butterbeer or two. Those two were always like two bowtruckles in a branch. Aidan took ill when he was collecting Horklumps on his way to see her. He made it home, but I fear he dropped the box in the cavern. The cavern is in the hills just southwest of our hamlet. You can gather Horklumps and collect the box of letters there.
Alright, so I'm not gonna be nosy. I mean, I guess we can be a little nosy.
Sirona said she lived with you during the summers when she was at Hogwarts. What was she like?
Goodness. Well, she was almost exactly like she is now. Charming, good head on her shoulders, taking care of everyone. I can't tell you the fun we had when she and her friends would visit us during the year, all buzzing about, practicing charms. Talented group. Her friend Mirabelle was a genius in the garden. Learned it all from her muggle parents, if you can believe it.
Thank you, Mrs. Sprottle.
Thank you. I'll be here if you are able to collect those Horklumps. I, and the vendors I help, would greatly appreciate it.
Okie dokie. That's that. Since we're here, we're gonna go talk to Claire. That might help us.
Upper Hogsfield is being terrorised by Ranrock's loyalists. It's not right.
Madame Beaumont, might I speak with you?
Yes? What about?
Mrs. Sprottle told me a little about your brother's disappearance.
Oh, dear Dorothy. She'd go looking for Bardolph herself if she could.
She mentioned dark magic, and even the Ashwinders.
Despite my repeated warnings, Bardolph's been experimenting with dark magic near the edge of the forest. I thought perhaps he'd get it out of his system and it would gradually stop. But then one day, he didn't come home.
Is there anything your brother took with him that might help to track him down?
Only his satchel, journal, and a woolen jumper I knitted for him. That's all I can recall.
Could Bardolph have run off?
No, he'd never leave me here alone. He did speak of going to talk with Victor Rookwood. That worries me almost more than his attempts at mastering dark magic. Rookwood is as dangerous as Ranrock, in my opinion.
I'll let you know if I see or hear anything about him.
Thank you. How kind. I'd be so grateful to learn where he is. I know in my heart he's out there. Do be careful.
I should be going now. Thank you.
Bardolph, where are you? I'll not give up hope.
Alright, so now that I talked to her, what are we doing? We're gonna do the caverns. Oh, okay, so it's not far, it's that way. Okay, perfect.
Brownrock's loyalists are a menace. What can be done?
Here's one of those tables Professor Shaw mentioned.
Oof, finally, it took me forever.
Likely this astronomy table will be best used when it's dark.
You can feed a beast, or it can feed you. I prefer the latter. Thinking in terms of good and evil merely indicates a limited imagination, in my opinion.
This must be the cavern Mrs. Sprottle mentioned.
They know the lies and falsehoods no one's mightier and Rockwood.
Someone's going to regret.
You're not going to like it.
your face now! You shan't evade me again! Come on, I'll check your pockets after you're dead.
Revelio. Better have a look around. See about the Horklumps and the box of letters. Revelio. That's all the Horklumps for now. Mrs. Sprottle should be pleased. Either I'll have to fight that troll, or I'm going to come together. much, friend. Revelio. 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 Lumos. Leviosa. Wingardium Leviosa. Lumos. Revelio. Protego. Expelliarmus. Confringo. Revelio. Revelio. This must be Sirona's box of letters. I should take this. I think that's everything. Sirona will be glad to have this back.
So what we ended up doing is just go ahead and getting the letters for Sirona and talking to Mrs. Brotto about it, about her missing brother. So we're just going to finish up with Sirona's letters. And then I think that's going to be the end of this episode, and then we can go ahead and finish off that one. Just because most of my videos are a little bit long. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but I think I'm going to try to do it to where it's just mission for mission type of thing versus everything together. But we'll see how it goes. Some of the other videos may be a little bit longer.
Hello, Sirona. I have good news. I was able to provide your friend Mrs. Sprottle with some Horklumps for her Wiggenweld potion, and I found your box of letters.
Oh, thank you. I knew you were the one to ask.
I wondered about some of the letters in the box.
Of course. It appears most of the letters were from fellow students.
I saw a letter from someone named Mirabelle. Is that Professor Garlick?
It is. Still one of my dearest friends. I know she wouldn't mind you having seen that letter. She and I are of a similar mind, especially when it comes to young people. We believe experience to be an invaluable teacher. To borrow a phrase from Mirabelle, it's a joy to see anyone blossom, but particularly one who doubted they ever would.
spotted a letter from you to Mrs. Sprottle. You two seem to have a lot of fun together.
We do. She taught me so much during my summers with her and Aiden. I shall be the first to admit that adolescents aren't always the easiest to understand. And not everyone was as kind to me as the Sprottles. But the depth of their kindness, and that of so many of my friends, got me through... well, got me through some challenging times, to put it mildly.
One of the letters mentioned Quidditch practice. Did you play?
I did. Was the Ravenclaw Seeker for 3 years. Oh, Merlin's beard. I adore Quidditch. Nothing like the feeling of catching the golden snitch when your team's down by 140 points. I'll never forgive Professor Black for cancelling it this year. I missed cheering for Ravenclaw. We could have cheered them on together.
I'm glad I could be of help. Mrs. Sprottle sends her best.
Don't know what I'd have done without her and Aiden. Thank you, again, for helping her, and for returning this box of letters. It's nice to reflect on good memories.
Alright, so we finished that, and I think we can finish one more next time, and we'll be able to do
I'll
that
say it again.
side quest.
Can't thank you enough for helping to save the village from those trolls.
Alright, so that's where I'm going to go ahead and end this, this episode. The next one, however, we're going to go ahead and do, let's see, the Brother's Keeper. Yeah, we're going to do that one next time. But for now, we're going to go ahead and call it quits. So, thank you so much for joining me, and we hope to see you next time. Goodbye.